I had the pleasure of working on the White House initiative for advancing education and economics, and there's one more I'm forgetting, for Black Americans.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Yo, yo, yo. You already know what time it is. It's cigars and coffee, baby. Cigars and coffee. So we're here with another Cigars and Coffee episode. We have the PMF Nupes edition. We got the P&E edition. But this is the first all Nupes edition.
Yes, sir.
I have my brother, ZaDarius Webber. What's going down with you,
What's
brother?
up, Nupe?
Doing all right?
I'm good, man.
Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, well, so ZaDarius, I brought you here today, man, as you know, our fraternity is built on achievement.
Yes.
And you've been achieving for a while now. So let's start from the very beginning. Where'd you grow up, bro?
So, grew up on the north side of Houston in a small knit community called Inwood, right outside of Acres Home.
Okay. 4-4.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. You grow up there. What high school did you go to?
So, y'all gonna look at me crazy, but I am a proud alumnus of Klein Forest High School.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any of my friends will tell you I'm a proud alumnus.
Got you. What was that experience like?
One of the best experiences of my life. That's where I really got exposed to achieving, and I got exposed to helping people. From the time I was a freshman to the time I graduated.
Yeah.
I was a manager for girls volleyball, boys basketball, and girls track.
Hold on. So you were managing at that level?
Yes. It really started in middle school.
Really?
Because I was lazy in middle school. And I knew
I was lazy.
After football season, you go in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
Or you play basketball.
Right.
I'm not a hooper. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
I'm not a hooper.
Not a hooper. And I was so lazy, I did not want to do off season.
Gotcha. I hear you. It was painful. I hear you.
Went to my middle school basketball coach and said, "Hey, I want to be a manager." He said, "Do you know what that entails?" I said, "Not at all, but whatever you need me to do, I'm there." So it started with making sure the team was great, and then they needed somebody to do the book.
Yeah.
Learn how to do the book. I ended up doing the book for every other coach in the district during tournament time. Then it turned into the girls basketball needed a bookkeeper and a manager. Well, they play on 2 different nights. Okay, I got you. I did so well. The head girls basketball coach went to our athletic director and said, "Hey, I need to know if I can bring him on full time so he can travel with us." Sure. From that, it just led to, from my 7th grade year, I did basketball. My 8th grade year, I transitioned to do volleyball and basketball. Then I became a track manager in 8th grade. I did all my events, did my throwing events.
Yeah.
Then I go help the coaches. Okay, what you need me to do, coach? You need to make sure these runners are at this place at this time. Cool. Then one day we're at a track meet. The high school coach said, "We need you in our program next year." And that's where helping people and managing started.
When I hear you say that, you not only were achieving, but you were achieving in things that the average person didn't even see value in achieving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being a former athlete, you know, when it came to keeping up with the book, it's like an athlete's worst. It's like, I don't want to do that. I hate that. That is this punishment. But you were, nah, I got that. Let me do that.
And it came so easy to me.
What?
So I know how to do a volleyball book and a basketball book.
Wow.
And even now I'm a coach now.
Yeah, yeah.
At my current school, they can't get, before I got there, they couldn't find anybody to do their book for volleyball and basketball. I got there, I said, don't worry, I got you. It's one of the best decisions I ever made, was becoming a manager. I kid you not.
Wow. You know, I remember managers in grade school, middle school, high school. They were just there to say, hey, I'm with the team. I didn't make the team, so I'm there. But you were like literally excelling and achieving in that.
I did so well. By the time I became a sophomore in high school, I was the lead sports manager.
Wow.
I went from making sure teams were good,
yeah,
and doing a book, to being over multiple group of managers, making sure we ran a tight knit ship. Because at Klein Forest on the north side, basketball and track for sure, those are our two dominant sports.
okay, gotcha.
It got to the point where coaches were trusting me with small coaching duties.
Wow.
And I stopped doing the book because I got elevated. So I was doing, for basketball, I'm sitting on the bench doing stats now. For volleyball, I'm sitting on the bench. You'll see me, I'm clicking an iPad doing stats for the coach. Track, I'm timing, helping people get their splits.
Right. Wow. so you graduate. I knew none of that, which is a whole nother level of achievement and respect for my guy. So you you graduate Klein Forest.
Yes, sir.
Where do you go to college?
I went to the Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia.
I see you got your.
Oh yeah, I'm always gonna rep the house now.
Yeah. What was that experience like? Because I going to a HBCU myself, it's a beautiful, amazing experience, right? Went to the Southern University and graduated from Prairie View. What was your experience like going to Morehouse?
Man, that was one of the best decisions I ever made.
Wow.
I went to a predominantly black high school, but it was diverse. You
Gotcha.
had
Yeah.
Asians, Hispanics, all of those. Only HBCUs I had ever been exposed to: TSU, Prairie View, Southern, and Grambling.
The Power Four in the South. Huh?
Oh yeah. Morehouse never crossed my radar until I was about a junior in high school.
Wow.
Counselor says you should go to Morehouse. I applied. Never forget, they have what's called Admitted Students Day.
Okay.
Me and my mom flew up there. I'm walking the campus. I'm seeing young black men, regardless of where they come from, whether their parents are rich or their parents are not,
right,
walking around in suits. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, I know this isn't normal college behavior.
Wow.
So why are we walking around in suits? Oh man, you never know who's gonna be on campus. I got an interview with Microsoft. I got an interview with Dell. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm a sophomore in college and I'm about to go do an interview with these Fortune 500 companies.
Interning.
And then I see that. Then I'm walking up what we call Brown Street, and people are having, like, students without adults present are having real conversations about taboo subjects in our community. How we're supposed to treat black women. How you're supposed to handle people who are from a different socioeconomic background. I'm like, these are 17, 18-year-olds having these conversations.
Without no instructor led, no.
And this is like casual, how me and you are sitting here talking.
Right.
This is casual conversation.
Wow.
I see all of that. I look to my mom. I said, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to be. And from that day forward, I was destined to be a Morehouse man.
Wow.
And the experience I got there, man, Morehouse afforded me to be in spaces that I never even imagined.
You know, when I first got to Southern University, and my first Pretty Wednesday, and Pretty Wednesday is basically just how it sounds every Wednesday. People coming to school with they putting it on.
Mm-hmm.
They putting it on, and I see the alphas come out, and you know they got they camo and the cargo shorts with the A5A and this and that and this and that, and then I see the AKAs come out, and then I see AC come out, and they all had suits on, and I said, you know what? I gotta be a noob. Now it was delayed, but to your point about seeing that when you first get on campus, it's like you gravitate to it. You gravitate to it. So Pretty Wednesdays, I start wearing polos, bow ties, everything, getting ready. But so you're in Morehouse. How was that experience, being that it is a all male school, and how was it having Spelman right across the street?
So I will say this. First, we have what's called new student orientation.
Okay.
They tell us, sitting in the auditorium, don't be that guy that majors in Spelman.
Gotcha.
And you know, it doesn't click because you really don't interact with Spelmanites until the end of new student orientation.
Okay.
So they move in, we helped them move in. It was then I knew what he meant by not majoring in Spelman.
Can't major over there.
But as far as my experience, that is a place where you will see some of the most intelligent, beautiful black women, you'll ever meet. And I'm thankful for Spelman College because they teach you things while you're there. They untrain certain men's way of thinking.
The stereotypical thinking.
Man, it's Spelmanites that let me know as a man, it's okay to show your emotions. You need to learn how to communicate.
Wow.
Don't just objectify women.
Wow.
And so you interact with them daily.
Yeah.
We do things together. So our homecomings together, we have what's called you have what's called Hump Wednesday, where every Wednesday come to Morehouse's campus right in front of Kilgore, DJ, music. You can just interact.
I'm thinking that's at every HBCU.
But since we're talking about this, I can't leave out my brothers and sisters at Clark Atlanta, because how we sit is kind of like a triangle.
Really?
We're separated by what's called the promenade, which is a long street. Spelman is here, Morehouse is here, Clark Atlanta is there. And you can't leave those students out because they help make your experience. Because they're co-ed, you have people that are doing just as great.
Right. But they're in a traditional learning institution.
But when I tell you the professors that they have, the professors we have, because you can cross-register at any campus. Can't sleep on Clark Atlanta, man. They got some heavy hitters coming out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. So what did you major in?
So
you didn't major in Spelman.
Oh no, I did. This close though. This close.
Is this close? I minored in it.
I did. I definitely minored in it. Some of my closest friends can tell you. I spent quite a few days.
I hear you.
Between those dates.
I hear you.
I majored in political science.
Wow. So when did you graduate?
So I got there in 2017. I graduated in 2020.
How old are you, dude?
I am 24.
I probably should have known that. But you carry yourself as a guy that's in his 30s. And I mean that in the best way possible. No shade at all, but the way you carry yourself, the rooms that you're in. Yeah, I did not know that, dude. 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Wow.
So I was a dual credit student in college.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in high school. I graduated, I want to say, with 19 or 20 hours. So I went in a semester ahead.
Yeah.
And so I was going to do 4 years. I was going, just stick it out and do 4 because it's your college experience.
Yep.
But I sat down with my advisor, Dr. LeVar Smith. Shout out to you, my man. It got to a point where my last semester, I'd only be taking 1 class. He said, you don't come to Morehouse just for 1 class. So he waived it, and I was able to take, add that last class on to my last semester.
Yeah.
And walked in 2020.
You graduate Morehouse. You come back to Houston?
Yeah, so originally I was not supposed to come back to Houston. I had gotten a job offer to teach in Boston, Massachusetts, which is where I've always wanted to live at some point in my life.
Why Boston?
I can't even tell you why.
Look, you from the H. Why Boston?
my mom can tell you since I was little.
Yeah,
I've just always wanted to live in Boston. I've never even traveled there. I've never been there to even tell you what it's like.
Are you a Patriots fan?
God, no.
I'm trying to figure out where you're a Boston Red Sox fan.
No, I'm not. I have no ties to Boston, but I won't live there. It makes no sense.
It snow out there a lot. Huh?
Yeah, I know. I rethink it a lot. But
wow.
So had that job offer. COVID hits. So we're in spring break. I get back to campus. They said, okay, you guys got to be out Saturday by 5.
Wow.
So I'm an RA at this time. I had a meeting. I go back to my dorm, take a nap, and wake up to an email saying, change of plans. We have to be out Tuesday by noon. So that is what brought me back to Houston. And my father, shout out to Doctoral Coop.
Shout out Coop. I ain't seen Nupe. Yo.
He had told, I came home for Christmas break. He lit into me. Like, you need a job. Like, what are you going to do? I was working at Raising Cane's at the time when I came home. He said, you're not coming home and working for Cane's. So that's what brought me into teaching. And I got my first teaching job in college. First teaching job in college. So by the time April hit, I knew that I was going to be teaching. So came back to Houston, became a teacher.
Wow. So we're here at our Stogies. I'm smoking the Placencia Reserva Original.
And I have the pleasure of smoking a Sencilio limited edition.
Stay tuned. You as a teacher, what are some of the difficulties that you see and how important is it to be a African American male in the education?
So there's a long list of what's wrong, but I'll just hit on the few that affect our community.
Gotcha.
So first and foremost, we have parents that don't want to offer the support their child needs if they're special education. Now, special education is not what we grew up it knowing to be.
Right.
Now it's mostly any learning disability
at all,
or any disability that can hinder your child's learning environment.
That's not good though, right?
It's not, but we're dealing with a new generation of children. ADHD is running rampant.
Really?
Because their attention spans go like that. But we have parents that don't want to get their child tested. And what I tell my parents, special education isn't a label that's going to follow you for for the rest of your life.
Right.
It can,
Yeah.
but it doesn't
yeah.
have to.
Yeah. It doesn't have to.
Because a true principal of a school is going to give you that child the support they need up until they don't need it anymore. A
That makes
principal
sense.
wants a child to test out of special education.
So you can test out of it.
You can. You can.
Wow.
People
okay.
don't know
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I thought once you're there, you kind of you going that all the way through graduation.
Now you can't. It can. As a parent, you know, you have the right to say, I want this to follow my child forever.
Gotcha.
And for example, I have a buddy of mine that I work with. His wife got what we call accommodations. When she got ready to take the LSAT and the bar exam, she got those accommodations as an adult.
Wow.
So that's one, is don't be in denial. If a teacher says, I recommend this child for SPED, and their heart is truly in the right place,
yeah,
I would do my due diligence, do some research, and at least do the testing so they can tell you where your child is struggling.
Gotcha.
Another one is, we're dealing with a new generation of children that you can't tell nothing. Discipline and structure is out the window.
Yeah.
And you have to think about it this way. A teacher sees your child for 180 to 187 days out of the year for at least 7 to 10 hours. We're the parent in the classroom.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that support, it's really hard.
Gotcha.
And then your final question was, what is it like being a Black educator? And you don't understand the joy I bring to these young brown and Black students.
Wow.
Because they see me. I teach social studies, and I'm also a coach.
Okay.
They see me, and it's boys and girls from troubled backgrounds, or they don't have their dad in their life. They're like, if Coach Webber can make it out and be some of himself, I can too. And that's what it's all about.
Wow.
Because all students just want you to care. They just want you to care. They don't want you to be a person that you're not.
Yeah.
They want you to come in, be yourself.
Yeah.
And help them.
Gotcha.
I have kids from my first year teaching, and I started teaching in 2020, that are still, Coach Webber, I need help with this. How do I navigate this? And that is, you don't see those rewards until years from now.
Later. Yeah. You're right about that. When you think about the coaches and the toughest teachers that you encountered while you were in grade school, you don't appreciate them until you at another school. You didn't went to, if you didn't care for this teacher in high school, you didn't appreciate them until you went to college.
And I will say, I'm very fortunate to have had teachers that cared about me, that supported me and pushed me. One of my favorite teachers taught me history. Her name's Erica Davis. Shout out to Miss Davis.
Shout out to you, Miss Davis.
She was a Jackson State alum.
Oh boy.
When I tell you, that's one of the realest teachers I have ever had.
Wow.
Kept it 100 with you.
Yeah.
Taught you.
And
I'll never forget, we got ready to leave the 8th grade to go to 9th grade. She said, I'm the realest you ever gonna get. And to this day, that statement holds true.
Wow.
And it's because of her that I went into education, because she saved a lot of Black kids' lives, whether she knows it or not.
Wow.
Because yes, I grew up in Klein, and Klein is a very affluent district.
Right.
But in the area in which I grew up in, Klein Intermediate, Klein Forest, I have friends that are in prison right now. I got friends that are locked up.
I hear you.
Friends that are dead. And people, and when I tell people that, they're like, what?
Yeah.
You're a product of Klein ISD. I am, but where I grew up, a lot of people don't make it out.
I hear you. You not only made it out, you've done something that you put a post out that you were going work somewhere this past summer.
Yes, sir.
Can you please give as much background or as much information as possible in what you were doing, where you were, and how that has been a blessing to you?
Yes. So this past summer, I had the honor and privilege to intern in the United States Department of Education. I interned in the Secretary's office,
Secretary for
Education.
the United States.
Yes, Mr. Cardona.
Wow.
And in his office, he has different array of things
Right.
that initiatives that you work on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I had the pleasure of working on the White House initiative for advancing education and economics, and there's one more I'm forgetting, for Black Americans.
For the whole United States.
For the whole United States. It's a
Wait a minute. You said for the whole United States.
For the whole United States.
That's achievement, ladies and gentlemen. Carry on.
Very rigorous application process and interview process.
I could imagine.
And I didn't think I was going to get an interview.
Wow.
Got an interview. Then they told me where I would be working. Shout out to Larry. Shout out to Alexis. Those were my bosses when I worked out there. Hardest working people in the department.
Wow.
So I actually got to work in the education building. Worked on the 7th floor. The secretary's office was around the corner from me. The deputy secretary's office was around the corner from mine. And while I was there, we worked on different projects.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So my main focus was diversifying education. How can we get more Black and brown people in education? How can we get them to stay in education? Mm-hmm. And how can we get more younger people involved in education? So I looked at policies. I looked at a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go with my boss to some important meetings. And then
Some important meetings.
Yeah. Then, while I was working there, this was at the time where Supreme Court's getting ready to close their session, and they give a ton of verdicts on a lot of cases. So affirmative action and student loans were two big court decisions that affected our office.
Wow.
And so seeing my bosses in work mode was crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wow, this is like how it works here.
Yeah.
And then for them to say, hey, okay, I know you're working on this, but Supreme Court just gave their ruling. We need to know how this is going to affect Black and brown children. Man, that was one of the greatest experiences. And if you know me, you know politics is my thing.
It's in your blood.
I eat, sleep, and breathe.
It's in your blood.
And to get that opportunity, not only to achieve one of my goals is to work in DC, but to advocate for Black and brown children at the highest level, man, it did something to me.
Wow. I'll tell you, when I saw that, you know, when you see a former teammate go play at the pro level, when you see one of a classmate make it on TV, you know, and film and things like that, you like, hey, that's my guy. I know that person.
Yeah.
You did that for me, but it wasn't on TV. It wasn't for the social. Well, you know, he an athlete. He a movie star. You did that on a whole nother level, And I want to take the time now to give you your flowers and let you know you inspired me, which might not mean nothing, but it was like, wow, I know that dude.
And you know, to that point, I'm honored, I'm blessed,
Yeah.
because my mantra that I live by is God blesses me to let my light shine.
That's
to
it.
help others shine theirs.
That's it.
And my great grandmother always told me, what you have doesn't matter. It's how you treat people. And every day I said, if I can just inspire one person, just one person.
That was our prayer before we got on, huh?
Yeah. And
wow.
This isn't my life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a vessel that God is using. And I've always said, if God blesses me to achieve just one thing,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell the whole world that God did it.
You got to.
And he's opened so many doors for me. And in our community, we struggle with turning around and bringing the next person. Part of the reason why I'm still a teacher, because right now I'm the leader of all these kids that are just hoping to be somebody in their eyes.
Be that light.
Because they're already somebody.
Yeah.
I just got to help them realize it. But yeah, man, everything I have is because of God.
Yeah.
Now I know faith without works is dead, so I'm putting in the work on my end.
Exactly.
But man, it's just truly a blessing that He's allowing me to accomplish and achieve my dreams.
Yeah.
While still inspiring other people.
That's it. Well, you're definitely achieving. Definitely.
I'm trying, man.
I ain't no trying about that. So, what? If I can ask, what's next? What's next for ZaDarius Webber?
Honestly, I don't know. And to the people who are going to see this, and you're always trying to figure out what's next, you're not supposed to know. God, when you truly allow God to lead your life, you just do what you're supposed to do, and He's gonna take you where you need to be.
He's gonna open up doors.
Just got my master's from Texas Southern.
Achievement.
I can't say only my closest circle knew this.
Yeah.
But I will be starting my doctoral studies in January, public administration with a concentration in public policy.
Achievement.
And you know, during that time, it's whatever God sees fit. Now, there are some things I want Him to do now. There's things I want Him to do. But
yeah,
in all honesty, what's next is wherever God's going to take me.
That's it. Well, brother, it really means a lot for you to bless me with this episode today, man. Like I told you before, since I saw you go to DC, and I said, you know what? Whenever you get back, I hit you. Whenever you get back, hey,
I remember that.
Hey, we got to have this conversation, because I feel that with you being so pivotal in the youth space, I know that it's inspiring them. It has to. Because, like you said, you are someone that looks like them and that has been able to achieve on so many levels in such a short amount of time. I mean, you're 24 years old. So I really, really, really appreciate you for joining me today, for sharing all that you were able to share. And just keep achieving, bro. Keep achieving. And I know you've been in the pulpit, so I already know your faith is amazing. So and it's pouring out. So I just want to tell you thank you, and keep doing your thing, brother.
Man, thank you for having me.
That's it. Well, this is D McKnight, ZaDarius Webber. This is Cigars and Coffee. all Nupes edition. Shout out to the good Nupe.
Yo.
Yo. Y'all be blessed. Peace.